and on this tier list, there were 3 different types of turkey to choose from. There was smoked, there was roasted, and then there was fried. So what's your S tier turkey?
Thanksgiving's about stuffing.
I remember we would fight over that stuffing the next day.
You have to do it this year. If you put salad on your plate, then you'll be able to eat more of the other stuff.
I'll try it for you. I look at salad on Thanksgiving as punishment. That's it.
If you're wondering, when did I start a podcast? This is actually a part of our paid community. I haven't talked too much about it yet, but basically we do 2 podcast episodes per month, along with a community factor where we share some behind the scenes stuff and also some bigger projects that we're working on for the future that we'll hopefully be able to share more on soon. But anyway, this came out about a week ago for the community, and we thought we'd just throw it up for Thanksgiving. Fun thing to have on while maybe you're cooking. You can listen to some of the opinions of my brother and I on what it comes to the best items on Thanksgiving. So let's break it down. Welcome everybody to episode 13 of the podcast. Today we have a special one. We're doing Thanksgiving tier lists with my brother, older brother, Sam.
Thanks, bro. How you doing, man?
I'm good. The family came into Austin for the past couple of days kind of as an early Thanksgiving, so we thought it'd be a perfect opportunity to do a Thanksgiving tier list. And I'm pretty excited to compare and contrast. And I'm also pretty curious like how you what your methodology was to come up with these.
Well, let's get into it, bro, because I have a very strict structure that I have followed for this.
Okay. So, and for those of you who don't know, we have a tier list. We'll flash up the photos on screen if you are watching the video version of this. But basically, there's probably 40 or 50 different items on here. I would say a good bulk of this stuff is stuff that we typically don't serve on our Thanksgiving table. So there's kind of this other category where we just kind of threw it in a not served. But we will talk about some of the things on here because there are some interesting items.
I think some of this stuff is like stuff that is normal at Thanksgiving, but just not like specific to like our family and our experience.
Yeah, because a lot of everyone's Thanksgiving is pretty different. Like there are some very staple foods, but usually the outskirts are pretty different. And the way that people serve their turkey, which there are a couple of turkey editions in here, which I think will be fun to go to. So first off, let's just start. What are some like interesting things you saw on this tier list? Or help me explain, what's your methodology? Like how are you ranking S versus A, B, C, and D?
All right, so S tier for me are like the things that if I had a limited budget, what were the things that I would include? Like if I was on a desert island or I only had like X amount of dollars to spend and I had to limit myself, that's all the S tier for me of like my must-have Thanksgiving things.
Okay.
What did you do?
So I kind of ranked S and A tier are absolute things I have to have on my table for Thanksgiving, but S tier specifically those are the actual things I'm looking forward to the most, and those are the only items. If I just have these, I have 4 in here. If I just have these 4, I will be happy and can consider it a Thanksgiving success. The A tier is like things I definitely want on my table, but ultimately S tier I kind of kept it pretty light with like 4 items that these are the only ones that I actually care about the most.
So it's kind of the same. We kind of
similar,
did it the same. Yeah,
for sure. And then B, C, and D are kind of just, I wasn't too particular. I kind of just threw things in, if I'm being honest. So A and S tier are things for me that are by far the most important on this list.
Dude, get those sweet potatoes with the marshmallows on them out of here.
Yeah, we've had that I think someone's made a variation. I don't know if we've specifically done the marshmallows. We've had like a sweet potato casserole. Not my favorite.
Dude,
too
marshmallows
sweet.
have like 0 applications for food.
Yeah.
And like the only things that I can think use marshmallows are like the grossest things to me. Like, okay, so you have those sweet potatoes with the marshmallows on them. That's one application for marshmallows. The other one is ambrosia salad that has like those little like multicolor, not ambrosia salad, but there's like another salad that has like those little mini marshmallows in it. Dude, the only thing marshmallows should go on are like fluffer. Yeah,
that's about it. But even then, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm still a peanut butter and jelly over peanut butter and fluffernutter.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go through some of the not served list. I don't know. Should we do S tier first or S tier last?
I think we got to do S tier first, because if we go in the reverse order, people are going to be like, what? Why
Yeah,
did you?
yeah.
Where's this going to come in? So I think we got to go our S tiers first.
Okay. So I'll do my first S tier items.
Oh, can I actually ask you a question
Yep.
of the S tier? Because we know that there has to be a turkey in this.
Mm-hmm.
So what? And on this tier list, there were 3 different types of turkey to choose from. There was smoked, there was roasted, and then there was fried. So what's your S tier turkey?
My S tier turkey is smoked turkey.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go, bro. Mine
Yep.
was too.
Yeah. I think it's the best way to do turkey because it's super moist, it's super flavorful, very just interesting. And then, yeah, you can eat it without the gravy.
Yeah. Yeah. Last year was my first time like leading the turkey charge from beginning to end. And I smoked it in the Traeger, and I bought the turkey from who are those dudes you work with? The meat guys.
Oh, Porter Road.
Porter Road. I bought the Porter Road turkey, and it was by far the best turkey I've ever had. I think I smoked it for like 4 hours and then let it rest for another hour and did just like a very quick like under the broiler to get it like back
Yep.
to temp. And it was so good, man.
And then if you have the smoking setup, that like reduces your oven usage as well while you're doing the other side. So if you do have the space for a smoker and can smoke outside, obviously, smoked turkey is, I feel like, just a no-brainer.
Yeah. Yeah, because the oven space becomes one of the toughest things about Thanksgiving because you run
Yep.
out so fast between all of the different things you need to do.
Yep. Yeah, so for me, I have the other turkeys ranked. I've actually never had a fried turkey, so I didn't rank that one because I've actually never done it. I want to do it. I think next year I want to do on the main channel, like go into deep dives on each of the classic ingredients, like very deep, like go through all the turkeys in one single video and try to find like what is the best way. Because a lot of it is really just temperature time for the texture, but like what is the exterior? Is it smoking? Is it frying? Is it, oven roasted? But yeah, so for me, smoked turkey was my S tier smoked turkey. And then my other 3 are dinner rolls, specifically Graham's buns.
Graham's buns.
Yeah, this is not a generic dinner roll out here. And then
Rest
third,
in peace, Virginia Strelbowski, best dinner rolls in the world.
Yep. And then additionally on that is stuffing, which is also her recipe. The loaf stuffing that my family makes. I don't know if other people do this, but basically we form, it's kind of just a classic stuffing recipe that we form into a loaf of bread, and then you can just make it ahead of time and pop it in the oven. But for me, you slice it rather than just kind of having like a scoop in a casserole dish. So that's literally my favorite item of Thanksgiving.
It's my favorite too,
Yeah.
and I think that transforms stuffing from like something that people just like eat or like do and they like put in the turkey's butt or whatever, you rip it out. It transforms it from that to like literally the star of Thanksgiving. I remember we would fight over that stuffing the next day when like the stuffing stock would start to dwindle. Last year, I was like, you know what? I don't want this to happen. So I'm just going to make 3 times as much stuffing as I think that I need. And I was eating stuffing for like an entire week. It is the best stuffing in the world. I remember growing up, we would get mad at mom because she would try and do stuff with like nuts in it. And we're like, nah, give us the white bread.
Yeah.
But now mom's come around too. And she's just like,
Yep.
yeah, it really is the best stuffing.
Because I think stuffing for me has always been my favorite. Because we've also tried other things too. Like when we would not go to Graham's or do the other side of the family, we would typically try a different version where we do. I think we done sausage stuffing, cornbread stuffing, some other variations. But eventually we kind of phased out that era, and then we did Graham stuffing at both. Because I basically like took that recipe and was like, we have to make it at both Thanksgivings.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and then thank you for documenting it and getting it down on paper on the internet.
Yep.
Because it is the best stuffing recipe of all time. No questions asked. I think Graham's buns are also, you also have a recipe for that, don't you?
Yep.
That you translated. Oh, man.
Yeah, we'll leave links to these if you guys want them. But yeah, I have both these recipes, my Graham's dinner rolls and my Graham stuffing. Needed to immortalize those for sure.
Yeah, man, they are the best. Yeah, so we shared like those first couple.
Yep.
Because I had stuffing, I had smoked turkey, I had dinner rolls. What else did you have there?
My last item was cranberry sauce, and like that's because like literally if I just had these 4 things on my plate, dinner roll, smoked turkey, stuffing, cranberry sauce, because you need something to lighten up the other 3. So that's why I have cranberry sauce on my S tier. I had to have it there.
But there's 2 cranberry sauces here. There's the jellied like canned stuff. You prefer the like more homemade stuff with like the real cranberries in it?
I do if the texture is not like has whole cranberries in it. If it's smoother, kind of like a sauce, and then it has some like other aromatics in it. I don't mind the jelly cranberry though. I know people
for sandwiches too.
Yeah,
because you can slice it.
Yeah,
you slice it like along the marks in the can. I like that little log that comes jiggling out, and then you just
Yep. Well, that's for me is like why I needed this, because I always make a sandwich with my plate, as you know. So
yeah, big
smoked turkey
guy.
stuffing with a little bit of cranberry sauce. That's like all I need on my plate.
Yeah. I guess really your S tier list is summarized by this is what your sandwich the next day looks
pretty
like.
much. The sandwich is the best part. Yeah.
So there were a couple of other things in my tier list that you didn't have that I did. One of those things that I gotta have. I love green bean casserole.
Yep.
Dude, I will keep going back and back and back for the green bean casserole. Some key things with that though, you have to have those little crispy fried onion boys on there. Oh man.
Need the texture.
Those things are so good. The texture, it's so funny though with Thanksgiving, it like definitely breaks some of the rules for things where it's like there's a lot of things that just like don't have any acid in them that maybe should, but I like just like the basics of the green bean casserole. You just like throw that entire can of cream of mushroom soup in there. Oh, so good.
Yeah, I mean, green bean, so it's not my S tier, but like I said, S and A are like things that absolutely have to be on mine. So green bean casserole for me is in my A tier. So I'm completely there with you, yeah. And as I was figuring out this list too, that's what I realized. There was like it's all kind of very similar texture and like heavy food, and there's no acid like anywhere or any like freshness.
No.
So I preemptively added a salad picture to this list. I don't know if you got it. Oh no, I think I see where you put it. But I put it in a certain spot that I'll talk about shortly. But let me hear the rest of your S tier really quickly.
The rest of my S tier, gravy. I have to have the gravy because I also want that for my sandwich the next day.
Yep.
And then mashed potatoes. I always expect mashed potatoes. I could probably bump that down to A tier if I wanted to, just because like I don't have to have mashed potatoes. Like if I was choosing between mashed potatoes and stuffing, I would always go stuffing. But mashed potatoes I really do like. I might actually bump that down to A. Pumpkin pie, though, is one dessert that I need. Like if dessert is an option, like that's the dessert I'm always going for first. Like apple pie, peach cobbler, whatever. There's a bunch of more desserts on here. I don't really need any of those. I just want pumpkin pie, and I want to cut a quarter slice of the pumpkin pie for myself. I don't want like an eighth. I don't want like a sliver. Like I literally want a quarter of the pie.
I think I'm like an eighth slice kind of guy. Our grandma also used to cut massive slices of pie.
Mega slices. You'd be like, can I get a slice of apple, and then could I get a slice of pumpkin, and then you'd get a half a pie.
Yeah. And it's already after. For me, I'm much more savory, so like I only want a little bit of a bite of some sweetness at the end. So getting served like literally a quarter of a pie at the end was just like. You just kind of power through it.
But then we would always eat, like, at least I would always have a slice of pumpkin pie for breakfast.
Yeah. With coffee is good,
with
for
coffee,
sure.
Yeah,
Yep.
that would be real good. So that is my S tier.
Yep. Oh, and then you have wine on there. And there were like 2 drinks, though. I don't think I bothered ranking, like, wine and...
Oh, yeah. I had wine on there, but honestly, like, that's...
Like, you need a drink,
whatever.
but it's like, yeah...
Yeah.
I don't think there's any strong opinions around things you need to drink.
I'm not coming to Thanksgiving wanting to break out the like 2018 Bordeaux. Like I'm really just there to eat food. Like you give me a Coors Light, I'll be just as happy. But it was something that I had to have on there, so I could probably bump that lower too.
Okay, so then run me through your A tier, and then And and then I have a comment because I kind of just realized something as we're talking through this.
Okay, A tier. We got mac and cheese. Love mac and cheese. I love the way that it can kind of connect the various shades of there, because there's not a lot of color in Thanksgiving. Last year, my brother-in-law was like, he's like, we don't have to have any green. He's like, give me all the yellows, the whites, the browns. Like, we don't have to have much green in there. So mac and cheese, deviled eggs. God, I love deviled eggs. I would have put them in S tier, but it's just like not super traditional to Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So I bumped it lower. I have the, and then I also have the creamed corn. I don't know if you have been having this at Thanksgiving, but this is something that Aaron's family has brought to the table, that they want the cream corn.
Our other brother Gabe usually makes the cream corn. We've made it. Me and him usually make it together.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It is. Oh man. And I also then have the jellied cranberry, and then this one I just thought was hilarious to have on here was the Welch's sparkling apple cider and cranberry juice. Because I remember
we used to go crazy over that over the kids. We'd go to the kids' table and we'd be served the Welch's sparkling grape juice.
Yeah,
and we thought it was like wine and would act like we're drinking alcohol.
We popping bottles. Yeah, so I had to put that there just because I thought it was hilarious. What were your A tiers?
So my A tier, like I mentioned earlier, green bean casserole is here, and then I have roast turkey here. Like I like turkey, roast turkey. I feel like it's really good. Then I have the jellied cranberry. So I had regular cranberry sauce up top, like a homemade version. Then there's a jellied cranberry. That's what I put on A tier. I really like it. It's great for slicing. I do prefer just kind of the less sweet version that you can make with homemade, but jellied's still fine out of the can. Then I also have mac and cheese here. This is where I added the brown gravy, pumpkin pie, deviled eggs, mashed potatoes, and then I added salad on the end here just because I have to have some. Remember, S and A are this is my table. This is what I want on it. I have to have a salad of some sort because if you look at all these things, there's no acidity outside of cranberry sauce, which is also very sweet. So I have to have some type of freshness, acidity, just a bite or two here and there. You gotta reduce your palate fatigue. Because it helps you eat more of these other things. If you go with too many one texture, one color, one kind of taste things, you just completely lose yourself. But if you get a bite of salad every once in a while, you'll be able to eat more of those other things.
I think that Thanksgiving is the one day of the entire year, if there ever was a day, that you should be exempt from feeling like you need to eat salad or even feeling like you need to eat vegetables.
I'm not saying I feel like I need to. I'm saying because it increases my enjoyment of the rest of the meal. Because think about it, right? If you're just having the same things, same textures, similar-ish flavors, it just eventually you hit this wall and you'll hit it faster. But if I have salad on my plate, a small piece of salad, maybe 4 bites, I can literally go,
Maybe 4 bites.
I can start to hit that wall, take a bite of salad, then I extend my wall out, then I take another bite of salad, then I extend again. I'm telling you, you have to do this here. If you put salad on your plate, then you'll be able to eat more of the other stuff.
I'll try it for you.
It's not about getting vegetables in. That's not what it's about. It's truly about getting you a little bit of a palate cleanser so then you can extend how much you're eating in between.
I do. Maybe I need to change my mind on that a little bit because I look at salad on Thanksgiving as punishment. That's it.
I'm telling you, it makes a difference though. If you have you need something to extend your stomach.
Okay.
Because it's like that same thing. If you just eat one of a lot of a thing, you get sick of it pretty quick. Now, that may be different for every person, but I stack my plate really, really high, so I need something to intersperse in between to go over the marathon of Thanksgiving, rather than me being able to only run a metaphorical half marathon. I want to run the full marathon. That's what salad helps me do.
So the salad is your little energy goo.
Yeah,
that you're
exactly.
Slurping down as you run. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
And then one thing I realized between our S and A tier, we literally have the same. If you combine those two tiers, we literally have the same. So I think that just goes to show where we kind of stand. I think the only thing is that salad that I had there. Other than that, and then I have roast turkey in my A tier, but like you still have a turkey in there. Mm-hmm. But like our S and A tier, if you combine them into one tier, basically identical. And for me, that was like that. This is what I want on my table.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's just being brothers and going to the same Thanksgivings for the first 24 years of our lives or whatever it was.
Yep. Okay, so let's go to B, C, and D tier.
I think we should preface this by saying that stuff starts to get weird. At least for me, in these like bottom tiers, things start to get a little strange.
Yeah, like these are some things I've had here and there. Most of these things I've at least had on the table, and then and then we'll go with the not served list. There's a lot of stuff that like we just don't use. I think a lot of other families do. Like I said, everyone kind of does their own thing. But yeah, so for my B tier, this is where I brought some of those other vegetables in. So I had Brussels sprouts, cream spinach, cream corn, roasted vegetables. But again, like the B, C, and D, like I don't need these things on my table at all. Mm-hmm. Baked mac and cheese. So there were 2 mac and cheese on this tier list. I went for the stovetop in A, kind of the creamy one. Yeah, and then baked mac and cheese as the B tier one. Baked mac and cheese is fine, but I like the creaminess.
It's fine, but I've tried to do it so many times. I've tried to make it at home so many times, and it always ends up worse than just the regular stovetop mac and cheese. Like the cheese always like leaches into the noodles, and then they start to like expand and fall apart in a way that I don't like. And I think that doesn't happen when you do stovetop macaroni and cheese. I don't know the science behind it, but that's just what it feels like in my mouth.
Yeah, it's just like it's kind of a different experience completely. Yeah. And then after baked mac and cheese, I had sausage stuffing. Again, I like stuffing, so like to add sausage to it, fine. Like that's it's still going to be good, but it's not going to be on the table because graham stuffing is always going to be there.
You got to update that recipe though. The recipe where you have the sausage log in.
No, it is.
It's updated now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because
that was a weird video.
Don't intermingle it. Don't put the sausage in the stuffing.
Yeah,
just do the log.
Yeah. The loaf. And then I had 2 more desserts on this B tier. I had pecan pie, which I really like, and banana pudding, which is also another thing. I think when I was younger, I went through this phase where I really liked banana pudding.
You were obsessed with banana pudding for a minute. I've had banana pudding a couple times in the last few months, and for whatever reason, but I think somebody made it at like a dinner party we went to. Banana pudding slaps. It's so good.
If you get the balance of the wafer to the pudding and the banana right, that's pretty key, because I hate when you get one where it's like mostly pudding and then also the wafers are like really soft. Like they don't have any texture to them, which happens a lot out at like restaurants because they're making it ahead of time.
Yeah.
But if you're making it fresh for a group, like then you can kind of mitigate that problem.
Did you see the banana pudding when we were at Buc-ee's yesterday?
No.
Dude, they had some banana.
It was in the cups.
That was definitely peak soggy.
Way too much. Too much pudding.
I was like, we didn't want to touch that. What was your favorite thing that we had at Buc-ee's yesterday? That was my first time. I love.
I just love the beef jerky selection. So
beef jerky was
3
good.
bags. We got Bohemian garlic, cherry maple, and the lemon pepper beef jerky.
The lemon pepper beef jerky was. Wait, what was that cranberry jerky that you got? I had some of that last night. That was the
cherry maple.
Good. Oh, the cherry maple. That stuff was so good.
Yep.
The Buc-ee's.
Yeah. How was your? Buc-ee's has a lot of food that can be made. Very not great. They have it there though.
There's a lot of food there.
I mean, it's gas station food.
Yeah. The Buc-ee's melt wasn't bad though, with the ham and the turkey and like that chipotle mayonnaise. I would get that again. Wouldn't get the Buc-ee's brisket again. It was not my favorite.
I mean, well, especially because like if we had really good barbecue like 2 days earlier too. So then you're like, oh yeah, this is not good.
Yeah. All right, I'll go with my next tier down. So my B tier is the roast turkey. I like roast turkey. I think that if you don't have a smoker, going with the roast turkey is definitely the best bet. Whenever I've had a deep fried turkey before.
Have you had one? I've never had one.
I have, and it was dry. Like it wasn't It wasn't good. The best way to do a turkey, in my opinion, and this is all stuff that I got from you, but you got to spatchcock it. You got to get that even cooking. Spatchcocked, smoked, maybe finish it in the oven. But if you don't have a smoker, spatchcocked and roasted turkey is going to be like always your best bet. Yep. I would brine it probably at least a day before. But yeah, so I like the roast turkey. I also have spiral ham in here. We were never really a ham on Thanksgiving family, but now that I have another family, my wife's family, I like the spiral ham and having it at Thanksgiving. It's nice. Obviously, it's not my S or A tier, but it's on there. Baked mac and cheese was another one. Like I said, I prefer the stovetop. The sausage stuffing, it's not bad, but I'm fine with it. Cream spinach is really good.
Yeah.
It's not traditional to like my Thanksgiving and what I am expecting, but I love creamed spinach. That's normally like a steak thing for me that I'll make like with a steak. But I also have apple pie here. I like apple pie, but it's nowhere as high up as pumpkin pie for me.
Yeah. And I think you're probably similar here where like your S and A tier are like your perfect table. That's really all you're looking for. And these other tiers are not as much. Yeah, I think... Yeah, for me, I didn't really rank the ham. I don't think we've ever, maybe Graham's side made some ham occasionally, but I don't really remember ever having ham we had ham at a lot of other, like we would do Christmas, Easter.
Yeah.
We had ham at a lot of other, like, holidays, but I don't remember us ever having it.
The only time I remember is when I do Thanksgiving with Aaron's family.
Yeah.
We'll have ham, but we didn't growing up.
Yeah, and then as you were mentioning that roast turkey, I was thinking, like, I wonder if it would make more sense to spatchcock a turkey, but like spatchcock it, but fully cut it in half and fry it in halves. So then you get more crispiness around the entire thing rather than trying to drop in. And
rather than dropping in the entire turkey at once.
And because it's a temperature thing to like get the temperature. So if you're dropping in a massive turkey all at once, it's taking a lot of thermal energy to actually move its way inside. Whereas like if you cut it in half, you're reducing the mass and it probably cooks more evenly. Like that, I think that would be really interesting to test out.
Yeah. I mean, that could maybe because
when you said it was dry, I mean, that's just like a thing that happens regardless of your cooking method. You always need to nail the time temperature thing.
Yeah. And I mean, maybe that is the thing that could fix the deep fried turkey is doing that like split in half method. Then unfortunately though, what would happen is we would no longer get these amazing videos of people on the internet setting their yard on fire by dropping in the turkey all at once.
I'm still amazed that like this is a thing that like everyone says every year, be careful, you can like explode. And every year there's new videos that come out of people dropping like a frozen turkey into a vat of hot oil and it like exploding on their lawn or something. It happens every year.
Do you have a fire extinguisher?
I don't think I have one right now. I used to.
Dude, you got to get a fire extinguisher. Because I had one incident, like when we first moved into our house, and Aaron's like, we got to go to Home Depot and get you a fire extinguisher right now. Thankfully, I had some baking soda, which is a great tip that I learned. If there's a grease fire, you throw some baking soda on it. But yeah, if you're watching this right now and you're thinking about deep frying your turkey, go get yourself a fire extinguisher.
Yeah, very definitely a worthwhile thing to have. I mean, you never know what can happen. You never know. Okay, so next up, that was B tier. For my C tier, again, kind of more things where can leave them, can take them. Green beans, sweet potato casserole, candied yams, things I'm not super... Collard greens. I think I just threw both of the drinks in here, the wine and the sparkling. I just like didn't really rank them. I just kind of threw them in here.
You put the sweet potato casserole with the marshmallows on top of it in the C tier?
I mean, C's pretty low. Like this is like a step below things that like these are not going to be on my, like these aren't really things that I want. Green beans, sweet potato, candied yams, collard greens.
If it's in C tier, that means you're still eating it.
I mean, yeah, I'll take a bite for sure. I'll take a bite of it.
Dude, I'm going to invite you to my house for Thanksgiving one year, and I'm just gonna put sweet potato casserole in different size containers. So you think that it's all of the different things at Thanksgiving, but you go to open up the containers and it's just sweet potato casserole.
I mean, if you make it like, if you add some like nuts to it for a little bit of saltiness, a little bit of crunch, I think the classic just where it's literally just marshmallow and sweet potato. But I think there's a way, we've had it too where it's not, there's not marshmallow on top, there's just kind of crunchiness on top. Like Aunt Lisa used to make that. It's like sweet potato with like nuts on it.
Yeah,
and like it's
yeah,
sweet
yeah.
potato casserole, but not with the extra just sweet of the marshmallow.
Oh,
so
wait.
that's what I was thinking.
The way
of.
that Aunt Lisa would make that was really good.
Yeah.
It was almost like pumpkin pie. It was almost like pumpkin pie filling.
Yeah,
and
like
then,
with some nuts on top,
With
though.
with like a crunchy.
Yeah.
That was actually
Yeah.
good.
So that's what I was thinking
kind
of.
want
Yeah.
that recipe.
It's good.
Wow, I'm really just walking back a lot of things that I said earlier in this episode.
Yeah.
I just don't like the marshmallow one.
Well, I don't think we ever did that at our table.
I don't think we.
I don't
did
think
either.
anyone actually ever did like the marshmallow one. We
I
would
don't
have
think we
sweet
did
potato
either.
in a casserole dish with nuts on it and maybe some like spices in it, but not marshmallow.
Yeah.
So that's what I was thinking of, and that's kind of same with the candied yams. It's like similar vein there.
I've never had candy yams. Have you?
Well, I think like again, I'm just thinking of like a general sweet potato dish that's like you know caramelized. Like I've made like caramelized sweet potatoes before, which you know yam sweet potatoes kind of the same. And then collard greens. I don't know if we've ever actually had these, but I kind of just threw them in there.
I love collard greens.
The collard greens are great. I love them with barbecue, but I don't know if I've ever like actually had them at Thanksgiving.
Dude, you have to go. Well, you're really close to it now. You have to go to New Orleans sometimes. The collard green melt from the Turkey and the Wolf in New Orleans is like one of my favorite sandwiches. It almost tastes
What
like
type of cheese?
It's so he uses like the elements of a Reuben, but there's no meat on it. So it's just collard green, Thousand Island dressing, I believe Swiss cheese, and then there's a slice of bread in the middle. So
okay.
like there's this real like soggy piece of bread that kind of sops up the collard greens, but then real crispy like exterior layer. But I love collard greens. They're good. Just not a Thanksgiving thing for me.
Yep. And then my D tier again. I just kind of have like random stuff: baked potato, sweet potato, asparagus. You can kind of run through your C and D tier. These
Yeah.
are things that are not, I don't know, not super interesting. And then we can go talk about some of these
some
other
of the
weird-
controversy.
some of the weird items on this tier list.
Yeah, my C and D tier were like almost the same. I love King's Hawaiian rolls, but I just rank those lower because I'd always rather have I'd rather have like Graham's buns or like homemade dinner rolls. Dude, we have to talk about some of these things in our unknown tier, our mystery tier, because there's things I just don't understand on here.
Yep.
Beginning with the most confusing one, and maybe just because like this just wasn't like what we made growing up. What are booty noodles?
Dude, I have no idea.
Are we being trolled by this one?
I'm like trying to look at it. The photo's super grainy. I don't know. I don't know what booty noodles are. I have
Can you
zero
look
idea.
it up? Because I don't even know what. Like this feels like somebody's just like trying to prank me, but maybe it's something I just don't know what it is.
I mean, Urban Dictionary popped up. They're chitlins. Maybe that's
Oh,
a
they're
better.
chitlins?
That's a better word for them.
That's like
Chitterlings.
that's the actual name.
Isn't that just like pork skin?
I think it's pork skin.
Oh, chitterlings, chitlins, small intestines of domestic animals.
Okay. So we weren't being trolled. It is like a real thing. It's just it's
Yeah, maybe that's a niche name for them. I don't know.
The
The first thing that popped up was Urban Dictionary, so I feel like someone is
and
trolling with that.
we're not gonna read that one live on
Yeah,
there.
not gonna read that one live. But yeah, I think it's like fried intestines.
And potato salad.
Yeah, that's
Potato
like
salad was on here?
I've never had potato salad at Thanksgiving or like heard of.
Like, why would you just not like just mash the potatoes?
Yeah, I feel like mashed potatoes are the same. And same with like, yeah, there was a couple weird ones on this, like corn on the cob at Thanksgiving, like cream corn, you know? Like I mean, corn's not like in season. I don't know how you.
Where
get
would
on
you
the
even
cob.
get corn on the
Yeah.
cob at this time of year? Like
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like the corn on the cob that you would have would just be like bland. by
Yep.
this point almost.
Yep. And there were like fried oyster mushrooms on here. I mean,
Which
that's
are
very
good.
they're
Fried oyster
good.
mushrooms are good, but I don't know who has
It doesn't
fried oyster mushrooms on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's a tier list item that's like most people are having on their
I wonder if there's overlap between the fried turkey people and the fried oyster mushroom people. Like
Maybe.
that oil is already hot, so they just like grab a thing of oyster mushrooms and just toss them in real quick. Maybe that's what that is. But,
yeah. And then a couple more desserts, I guess. There's like red velvet cake, sweet potato pie, which I guess like the canned pumpkin is like kind of also sweet potato technically. Apple pie, peach cobbler.
In the sweet
when it
potato
comes
family.
to like Thanksgiving desserts, all I really want is pumpkin pie.
That's all I want to.
Like usually there are other desserts, but like I'm literally just good with a sliced pumpkin pie.
The pumpkin pie is the star of the show.
Yeah.
Because it's like you would never eat pumpkin pie at any other time of the year. I think that's like what makes Thanksgiving special to me is you have all of these foods that you just never eat. And that is like some of the charm for it for me. Because even at like Christmas, right? There's, we have like pierogies and we have tomato soup, and those are pretty specific to that time of year. But we'll eat pierogies at other times of the year.
Yeah.
Where it's like Thanksgiving, I'm not gonna like make stuffing in like July.
No, never. Yeah. Like it's a very specific, you kind of eat these on this specific day and outside of that. And I think that's why I don't like the menu to change.
Yeah.
Like you can maybe experiment with some fringe stuff, but like I always want to have graham dinner rolls. I always want to have graham stuffing. I always want to have turkey. I want to have like cranberry sauce. And I want to make a sandwich out of it, and then mix in some of those other items like green bean casserole, mac and cheese.
What do you think
like
about the turkey hate? Because there's a lot of people this year that are like, and I think the past couple years who were like, oh, turkey sucks. It's just the driest thing. Like, I can't believe we choked this down.
Yeah, I don't agree with the turkey hate. I think there are, like for me, Thanksgiving's about stuffing. Mm-hmm. So I can agree on that level. Like it's more about the stuffing for me. But the turkey is a great, the turkey is not the star of the show for me. Mm-hmm. But I don't hate it, and it would not be Thanksgiving without the turkey. So the turkey has to be there for me. But actually, like substituting out turkey with something, I don't agree with that take at all. If you have dried turkey, it's because you didn't cook it well. If you don't have well seasoned turkey, you probably didn't brine it ahead of time. Mm-hmm. If it's bland, you probably didn't brown the skin in the oven or deep fry it. Or if you want to take it one level more, you can smoke the whole thing and get all the smoky flavor of a smoked turkey.
Yeah.
I don't agree with the turkey hate at all.
I will say turkey from a purely a standpoint of pure science and food science, right? It is an inferior meat, right? Like it's typically way drier. It requires way more work to make it to taste better. But like you said, it's not Thanksgiving if you don't have turkey, at least in my book.
No, I'm right there with you. Like the turkey has to be there, and if you learn how to cook it, it's great. And like the best for sandwiches.
The best.
Like
for
there's
sandwiches.
no other leftover meat that like for me stands up, because then you can create your sandwiches in so many different ways by having that base protein in there. That it's not super flavorful like I don't know, like a steak or a roast or like something else, but it's so versatile with how you can use it.
Yeah. Not Thanksgiving without turkey.
It's just not. Yeah, I mean, so like for me, just to recap, like S and A tier. My Graham's dinner rolls, smoked turkey, graham stuffing, cranberry sauce.
Go.
That's my S tier. And then for the A, I need green bean casserole. I have jellied cranberry again. We'll see. But I need green bean casserole, mac and cheese, the gravy, deviled eggs, mashed potatoes. I need some salad. And then lastly, we're going to finish it off with some pumpkin pie.
And, I mean, we intersect the salad thing. We disagree on there, but maybe I'll try it this year just because you're my brother and you're really good at this food science stuff, and I've learned a lot from you. So I will bend the knee and I will try salad this year. I will make salad this year.
It can be like a hearty salad too. Not like it doesn't have to be some like wimpy leafy green one. Like there can be like shaved Brussels sprouts, cheeses in there, nuts. But you need something acidic to like help you along your journey.
Dude, you know what my favorite salad is that I think I'll make for this? So Eric Repair has this recipe for like this super, super simple salad dressing. It's literally just shallot, olive oil, sherry vinegar, and salt and pepper. And then you dress butter lettuce. And it is the best. It's the quickest salad dressing, first of all. And I think that would be a really nice addition for Thanksgiving because that's basically just like, that is a wimpy salad.
Yeah.
But I like it because it could bring that little bit of freshness to the table. So.
You need the acidity. You have to have it on your plate somewhere.
Okay.
Which starts with cranberry sauce, but since it's so sweet, you kind of need something a little bit else.
Yeah. I don't know if that even counts. It's just Jell-O.
No, yeah, it basically is Jello. All right, everybody. Well, thank you for tuning in. Again, thanks for maybe we had some hot takes in here. I don't know. I think we were like pretty aligned though. I mean, we've been to 25, 30 Thanksgivings together at this point, so we kind of we've converged over time.
Also, thank you for wearing the hat that I bought you last night.
Yeah,
at Worst Fest.
Sam bought this hat for me at Worst Fest, and then it worked out for the video though.
I was like, we need funny hats.
Yep. All right, everybody. Well, thank you for tuning in. We will catch you in the next one. Hope you have a good Thanksgiving. Peace, y'all.
Happy Thanksgiving.